Welcome to this Palworld guide where I'm going to talk about how to get ore, and then I'm going to go ahead and go into some good ore base farming practices for the early game to get you set up with a bunch of ore for the mid game. So first things first, you can get ore by walking around and finding ore nodes, kind of spawn just like stone would in different parts of the map, or you can also find certain areas of the map that are going to have clusters of ore like this, where there's just a bunch of pieces put together. The next way that you can get ore is going to be in caves. If you go into caves or like the dungeons, you can pretty much find ore nodes in there. So in the early game, you're going to need a pickaxe in order to start getting some ore, and you just start mining them. But once you are at PAL box base level 10, that is when you're going to want to use your second base to put it on like a massive ore spawn, kind of like this. And I'll have a bunch of coordinates in the description to show you some possible locations that you might want to do depending on where you are in the map. This is the one that I chose to showcase because it is really close to one of the more popular spawns, which is the Plateau of Beginnings. Right next to the first tower of Syndicate, you just come up here and you can see the coordinates in the bottom left of the map. So this is 157 and negative 394. And you'll come to this little mountaintop area that is really nice and flat for building, and also the only access point is this bridge for defending against raids. So this is my ore location that we have on my friend server, and if I hit M, this is going to be the coordinates in case you're interested: negative 73 or negative 76 and negative 316. You'll come to this little flatland area and there'll be ore all over this part where there's no grass. It's a really good ore spot that my friend found and kind of set up a base. One thing I wouldn't recommend is building a big structure like this, because I think it kind of reduces some of the ore. There was definitely 1 or 2, maybe 3 nodes of ore that spawned where this base was built. So if you're really trying to maximize your ore, then try to keep your building structure to a minimum to maintain the ore spawns. Then right here you can see we just have the PAL beds. We have 2 of the these just hot springs, yeah, 2 hot springs to keep them happy. And then we have the bare minimum of 2 berries and then the feed to keep all these guys fed. So in terms of pals that you need for the base, you're just gonna need like 1 or 2 pals to maintain the planting and the harvesting and the watering for the food, and then the rest, oh, you also need a pal that can carry. So let me go and show the little icons. So like right here, and we have this pal which has 1 box level, which is pretty much like transporting, which is what you need to kind of transfer all the ore. This one has level 3 transporting, which is really good. And then we have this one on planting. And then you're also going to need some pals that have the fire camp one, so that you can do the smelting for making or like smelting down the ore if you're going to be doing that at this base. And then the next thing is the rest of the pals you can fill with pals that can mine. So in order to mine ore, you actually need ore mining level 2 at least. So you can see like right here, this Dumud, I don't know how to pronounce it. Dumud has level 2 mining, which allows it to actually mine ore. But if you can, I would try to get something like a digtoise. A digtoise has level 3 mining, and you can also get it pretty early in the game. Right here, you can have it so that you have your main chest right next to the fast travel point at your base. That way you can just take the ore into your inventory, and then even if you're encumbered, you can still fast travel back to your main base. And then when you fast travel to your main base, you can just like drop it or something, but at least you get it to your main base to do whatever you need with it. But for my friends and myself on this server, we decided to make it so that this is where you can do all of the higher level crafting. So we have like the better workbenches here, and we also have the weapon workbench here. And so we make nails and whatnot here. But in your early stages, you can just have a chest here, and then you could just have like 2 smelters here that are accessible all without moving. That way you can just take everything that you need and then go straight to your main base to do all the crafting until you can kind of add some crafting here. But yeah, it's a really simple basic setup, but with that you really get all the ore you need. You really only need 1 ore base with several node spawns, and then you'll be set on all the ore. But really quick, the last thing that I want to go ahead and showcase is how to actually get the pals early game so that you can set up your mining operation, the ones that have level 2 mining. So the area that I did it was actually over here. So in this desert area, that's where it gets hot and you need a temperature resistant clothing. But if you enter the area like around here, the temperature is only rising. So you can still get a chance to catch stuff before taking damage from the heat. And that's how I got our mining operation started, with the by catching these two Dumud with catching these two Dumud pals, and then I also managed to see a digtoise spawn and I captured that as well. So what you want to do is at least get to this fast travel point, which is Cinnamoth Forest, and relative to the map, or we can use the coordinates too, it's -68 and -276. This is where the Plateau of Beginnings is. I use this red area as a good map center, and it's right next to this Patelia boss. So let's go ahead there. And then once you're here, you're gonna want to head and go left, and pretty much we just need to cross this water gap. You can do this at night if you want, because pals that are sleeping apparently are easier to, you do more damage to them, so you'll be able to get them low faster if they're higher level, and then you can try to attempt to capture them. So right here, if I wasn't using this mount to swim across and I just used full stamina, we'll just head on over. Alright, I'm gonna get back on my mount, so it didn't even use that much stam. We were able to cross the water, and then we can kind of just creep our way into the desert. When I did this, I think I was still in the teens, at like level 18 maybe a little bit less, like 15, and I came to this area. I was just exploring the map, really desperate, looking for mining level 2 pals, and this is where I found them. So now that we're here, you can already see there's a digtoise spawn right here, and I'm not taking any damage from the weather or anything, so I could go ahead and fight this guy and start trying to capture him. Okay, it killed me, but yeah, this is the area where you can get them. I was being a little too I wasn't being careful enough and it clapped me. But yeah, you can also see the Dumud over there in the distance, so you can just get your level 2 Pokemon here, level 2 mining Pokemon here, and then go back to base and you're good. And that's gonna be pretty much it for this guide. If you have any questions, feel free to leave it in the comment section below, or any feedback or other suggestions you might have to make a better mining operation for the early game, and I'll take a look. Until next time.